We don't like to come out here to say yes or no. The job we do, we are judged by the public. And the opportunity today, let's be thankful to God that it has been given the public to decide as to whether the police has been successful in combating crime or not. If you ask me, I say given the scope of our function, whatever material we have been supplied to work with, the number of people residing in the area that we control. When we're talking about immediate control, we're talking about in the Monrovia environment because it's densely populated. And this is how you make security decisions. This is how you deployment by studying the total strength of the population and other social dysfunction, other things. Those are things that you take into consideration when you are deploying policemen from our professional point. And given the size of this city, we've got almost 1 million people in this town. We have only about 5 or 6 police patrol cars. There are no fire service here in this country right now. Let's say they are symbolic. You do not have an ambulance system here in this country. In this city. All of these functions, the city police is not very important because they also don't have. The city inspectorate system is not working. We have to assume all of those responsibilities, and with 3 or 4 patrol cars, hardly got communication system to work with, hardly got the trained manpower to work with, inherited a lot of laziness, transform it into positive thinking people. So we feel that we have not only succeeded in the crime prevention area, but we are succeeding in re-establishing the yesterday police, as you said in your paper. But what our people must also understand, that we do not have the yesterday people anymore. The yesterday policemen used to be here yesterday. Today we don't. That's why we had the yesterday people. Because the people of yesterday and the policemen of yesterday came from the same community. They didn't come from another country. They didn't come from another planet. Now it is unfortunate that the yesterday people are gone. Now we have to do the today people. We have to carve our police force out of the same today's people. And so the action of our people must be changed. Our behavior must be changed. And then you will see the police behavior will begin to change. It's a very simple attitude here. If you do not have a strong football league in your country, it is difficult for your teams to prosper in any competition.
We're looking at something like when you assumed the responsibility of the police, your first focus was first crack down on this what we would experience in a daily armed robbery, then people knocking on people's doors, robbing them and maltreating them. To what extent have you succeeded in that area?
T-Max, if you listened to the program yesterday on Radio Monrovia, I don't know whether you listened, I think the topic was should Director Tate be replaced? If yes, state your reason why. If no, state your reason why. And I think everybody came out on the air to say, well, Director Tate should not be replaced. Even those who thought they were criticizing Director Tate. I felt it was a compliment. And some of my police, oh, Chief, you hear what the man said? I said, listen, man, the man just got on the air, he praised us. And I'll tell you what he said, one of the callers, he said that, listen, he was very sarcastic to the Liberian people, for those people who cannot understand. He said to them, he said, look, I say Director Tate should be replaced. He said, not replaced, I feel he should be dismissed immediately. And so the moderator asked him why. He said, because look, there's a police director. Everywhere you go in the town, you see police. You know, you just not take injection and inject the people with it. The police working too hard. So you replace the man. In other words, what the man was trying to tell the Liberian people, if you people stupid, you got a good director that you want to replace, you go ahead and replace him so we can start suffering again. Then another caller came and says that you replace Director Tate because The traffic was blocked somewhere, you got down and started directing traffic. But hell, I'm a policeman. I enjoy what I do. I know what I do. And the reason why you think I've injected my police officers is because they respect me. They consider me a true professional because I lead them right, I direct them right, and they enjoy doing what they're doing. So this is why you see the police force is so motivated. This is why you see our people begin now to understand what the police is supposed to be doing. We are going to the community. We're dealing with the smaller kids. We're trying to occupy their mind. We're trying to make them, we're bringing the friendliness back now because the attitude or the cause for friendliness now has existed. The crime rate is going down. We can concentrate on more better things.
But the thing is that, Director, the people that admire you in that area of armed robbery, but there are some excesses, there are some undesirable attitude on some elements of the police that bring total disrepute to the police, and it become a public information that the police is not friendly as it's supposed to be.
Well, it depends on the situation, depends on the gravity of the crime being committed. The police, they have been trained to know how to act. You can't go and grab arrest a taxi driver or cite the taxi driver and you tell the man, say, well, let's go to the police station, and the man is on his way, turning around, going to the police station, and then you get up and start beating him. You know, I think it's wrong.
So you have a report of such excesses?
No, I don't have a report like that. I'm just making being hypothetical here with you. We know very well that if you also go and the taxi driver is sitting down in his car and you take your hands and pull him out of the car and slap him, if he punches you, you know, you've invited confrontation. You see what I'm saying? But you are the policeman. You should know exactly how to arrest, and this is where most of our problem comes from. We're trying to blame the poor police officers in the street. We shouldn't blame those officers in the street for whatever wrong that they're doing. We haven't taught them any other way. You understand? For the last 7-8 years before the inception of the Civil War, the police academy was almost zero. We have begun now to put the academy back. We are employing most of the former instructors that were at the police academy to ensure that strength and discipline comes right back into the institution. We are taking every step to ensure that our people understand what they're supposed to be doing. We have commenced discussion with private people such as the Female Lawyers Association, the National Bar Association to help us, give us some instructors at the police academy so that when we design our policemen, it can be a community designed police officer that had the cooking. Somebody put the salt in there, the next person put the pepper in there, but we had the exact recipe for the kind of policemen we want in the society. This is why we are going to consult all of those people who are concerned about police improvement in this country to assist us in the training of our police people.
The other time I had the opportunity to have the public relations office director of your office, and when we initiated the highway patrol thing, it was very, very appreciated. People admired that. But the results we're getting from the highway patrol is negative, and so it's kind of productive to keep them there when they're supposed to be safeguarding the people, supposed to be deterring commission of crime. They themselves are engaged in the commission of crime. Does that bother you that it goes contrary to your own vision of having the police patrol on the highway?
To a certain extent, and to every extent it should. But I don't want to dignify what you were saying as to whether it's counterproductive or not. This is not the question. The question here is that should they be behaving the way they are behaving? I'll be the first to tell you no. And if you have been following our trend of action, we have been deterring them. There are going to be highway patrol on the road. There will be highway patrol on the road. Whether it's one man in his car or not, there will be highway patrol on the road, because we know it is productive and not counterproductive. And as long as they continue to misbehave, we are going to continue to dismiss them and discipline them to ensure that they get the lesson and they learn the lesson well, that they are not just there for themselves. They are there for the safety and protection of our people, and they must do so. So whether it is productive or not is not the issue here. The issue here is that they are going to be there, and they are going to be there to ensure. Like I was listening to somebody there a few days yesterday on the radio, where I gave him a copy of our highway patrol report, and some 80% of our drivers on the highway have no driver license. Another 75-80% of all of the vehicles that apply the highway are defected. So now, if these vehicles are defected, they've been used to going for 7-8 years, and nobody told them that these vehicles were defected. We've been on the highway now for some 2.5 months, and I'm sure that at some point they have been warned to come and repair the vehicles. Now, what would you say that if a car or a big truck park on that highway and you go into robber fee in the night, and all of a sudden you just, run under that truck because it does not have even one reflector on it. One safety device is not on that truck. We have lost precious life. Our people are coming from the United States. Our children are coming on that highway. They come to visit home for the first time, and we are not going to say that we're going to remove the highway patrol from there. We are going to remove those people that are causing the problem, but the highway patrol will remain.
Okay, let's go back to the line to talk to our first caller, Abbott Moore from Pinsville. Good morning, Abbott. Hello? Hello, Abbott Moore? Hello? What Abbott line is hello, Abbott?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Albert Moore Jr.
Good morning.
Calling from Painesville.
Yeah, you got 1 minute to ask your question, please.
I would like to applaud Director Tate. For a marvelous work done. Director Tate, likewise, all the time has improved the police facility. So I think it would be good for us to applaud him for his hard work. But we look at incentive for the police and listen to him just a short while. We will have to put our hands around the police to help him. If we look at the police now, we know that Director Tate has done a very beautiful work. So let us join hands as Liberians, right, to help Director Tate improve the police. Listen to what he just said. There are lots of untrained police officers. So I think if we all can join hands and contribute to the training of our police force, we'll have less a problem. Two, if we can just, contribute to improve the standard of the living condition of police officers, I think we'll have less a problem. Look at the police officers, they are underpaid. The boys work day and night. So why can't we put hands than to criticize? Let us put hands around the director and make him to know that he have done well. The director of police is just an individual. He got to go there and lobby to help people build the system. Look at armed robbery. Let's look at Liberia, Monrovia, 5 months ago. Director Tate needed to be applauded. So I think we should join hands as individuals, as citizens, to help the woman build the police. I was ready to be police of yesterday. They won't call on the radio and hear that Director Tate, was there directing traffic. That's what I called the director of police in the middle of the street directing traffic. We should know that, that's a man that's trying to live the police standard. So why can't we help him?
Hello, thank you for your concern. That was a caller from Pinsville. Abba was talking about the things you've done. He never said anything negative about what the police has done already.
Well, I do know that he never said anything negative, and I do know also, T-Max, there are some negative things people are doing. One thing I'd like to make clear here is that we in this country must consider that police work without close supervision. They are like managers on their own, and that we have always taken action, drastic action, against officers who misbehave. You don't want to see me dealing with the officer once he has misbehaved. And most of them appreciate it. I will tell you something. A few days ago, one of my best boys, he's the chief of anti-robbery in the unit, and he did not do what he was supposed to do as a policeman. And I suspended him for 1 month off the job. Everybody came and said, oh, hey, the lesson must go forward, that you must do what you have to do. And several other changes I have made in the police force that got the police force wind up. Got people moving, got people thinking. We do have some negative things. We do have some negative people, yes. But we have a community to live in. If we continue to be negative all the time, we are not going to think positive. So the caller just said that you must look at your police officer. You must look at a lot of things. He's underpaid. He's living. Some people hardly got uniforms to wear. Then on top of that, they don't even have the training that prepares them for the job.
But who's responsible for that?
Well, of course, all of us responsible. We got this country. We got this government. So let's begin to do it.
There's no way you can have a police officer who is not trained, or you run the risk of misbehavior.
Thank you very much. So that's what you have here. So we must understand these things. The government is taking every step now to ensure that we correct this mistake. And as long as we are going to correct this mistake. Don't get me, don't take it for joke, because you witnessed the Highway Patrol graduation program. Then you know I believe in training. I didn't just take people from the police force anywhere and just chunk them into that. You went there, you saw what they were doing, you admired what they were doing. If they would only put it into practice, we would have the best police highway patrol in Africa.
Okay, let's go back to the line to talk to our second caller. Hello?
Hello?
What's your name and where are you calling from, please?
I'm calling from Busher Island. My name is Cynthia Harris.
Go ahead, Cynthia, I'm listening.
Okay, I have 3 questions for the Honorable Director of Police. Number 1 is this taxi cab issue, where they insist that all taxi drivers should buy the taxi cab from the police station. I want to know why is that so. And number 2, he made me well, but I want him to actually, most of the time when people come with allegations against the police, they will not, investigate. Actually, they will just say that's not true. If it is happening, we want to see it. He is in his office. Not everything that happens, the police director will know, but when people come and complain to the police, I think they should investigate and let the public know what is happening, because some of us have been victims of police brutality. Okay, and the next thing is these police stolen heavy arms. It scares us, Sometimes you in a taxi and then police that is armed and stops the taxi. The first thing is fear will grip, because we've been in a 7-year war and we know what has happened with people toting arms around. So I think if the police director can do something about that, at least if they can carry arms like pistol and things, it will be better as we used to see before the war, and not heavy arms like AKs and other things that will frighten us not to even want to ride taxi. So that's what I have to tell the police director, at least let them try to investigate some of these things instead of just denying and then nothing is done. That I get them more, and encourage those officers that are involved in those things to do it more if their bosses back them. That's what I have to say.
Thank you, Ms. Harris.
Well, Ms. Harris, let me take the time off to thank you. I think your whole attitude has been positive, and this is the kind of positive attitude that we're looking for with people. But if you let me to say this to you, and not only to you, but to the entire public, that arms don't kill people. People kill people.
But arms frighten people.
If you don't let's go to into that T-Max. Go to Basel Community this morning. There are people there with arms. Go around the Camp Johnson Road. There are people there with arms.
But what I was wondering this morning, what they're doing there, why you
Fine,
not there?
So thank you very much. Now, so let's not talk about frightening people here. Let's be realistic here.
The policeman is almost a civilian. He's close to the. We use the police than we used to the soldier.
Did you travel out of this country during the war?
During the war, no, I haven't.
Fine, but everywhere I went, I saw police officers with AK-47. And Liberia was the only country, because of our safety in nature before the war, that carried a side pistol. Right here in Nigeria, all of the police officers there, the mobile police carry the LAR. In Ghana, the police over there carry. I got to a checkpoint in the night where I saw police officers standing up right in front of the Goldie Two Clips. There's a checkpoint near there with an AK-47 in his arm. So this is the point I'm trying to make here. It's not a matter of let's get something in our heads. We have a behavior problem in this country, and that has followed down the line to all of us. Let us ensure now that we pick the cream out of the crop, and those people that will be able to step aside and behave a little bit differently and behave more professionally. This is what we are talking about. So let me address myself to this arm issue here. We have a situation on our hand, and not all of the police officers in the police force carry arms. Okay, those officers that are responsible for cracking down crime in the city and as well as the highway are armed, and because they are armed, they have been specifically trained on how to carry those arms. You saw it at the field there and what to do with it. We do know there are certain situations where they are young and they overzealous over certain things, and yes, but when we see those things there, we deal with it. With respect to the taxi cab issue that she brought up, I think I'm not too sure because I don't get too much into this traffic thing here except it goes through my deputy for operation. But I think there's a reason why they are asking me to do it from there because for me, I don't think that should be of concern. What should be of concern as to whether the pricing that they are giving it is competitive.
Somebody told me that the other day that though it is sold there, but sometimes you pay for it and you don't have it after 2 or 3 days before.
That's something I need to look into. I hope that you have brought this to my attention a long time ago, and I'm going to definitely look into it. And if you will put it back on the air for us, we will call you back and tell you what step we have taken. Okay, this is what I'm saying. We must begin to think positive now and bring these kind of things to our attention because like one caller said, I cannot be everywhere every time. And when these things come to my attention, what I do. And to the last point, what I was trying to make with the taxi cab, I think it's for control purpose because whenever you buy the light, your license plate number is automatically installed on the light to ensure that there's no theft done to it. To ensure that we can recognize the car in the night, even if the license plate light is bad, or we can recognize the license plate on the light, on the head of the light. The second reason for the headlight in this town that we begin to institute this measure is because most of the people after we came in, I think you can remember 6 months ago when we came in, every car almost was going around here with airport taxi. People were not painting their cars. People were taking their boss's car and running it for taxi. And the thing was just loose. Everything was loose. And so we instituted a program to identify these taxi cabs, to remove this airport taxi off the road because they were frauding government and repainting all the cars for easy recognition. There are also plans on the way that we are looking into now that if people don't know, we're making this public so that if anybody has any criticism, just write me a letter. Or any suggestion, also write me a letter on how you think it should go about, and we'll send it down to our planning and research section. And we'll totally analyze it. But what we are working on now is that we see that some people go and take their hard, safe, earn a living and go and buy a taxi and put it on the road to be able to carry the children to school, to be able to put food on the table on a daily basis because the salary is not enough. Some of our relatives brought us money and only to find out that the car is going out of town, has had an accident, and then they come with responsibility, heavy, serious responsibility on them. The insurance program is not working well. They have to bury all these people, and it's just too much burden on our people. So what we have done here, or what we are working on, and we are going to welcome public criticism as well as public suggestion, is that we're working on a program where those cars that run out of town will be painted different color.
So that means that they will just want to be assigned to run out of town.
Be assigned to run out of town. And if you bought your car, this is just don't get me wrong, because I know people can start calling now. How do people do? If you have a suggestion, don't tie the airway down with it now, but just write it to us and we'll deal with it from there. But what we are saying here is that if you live in Kakata and your car was painted a different color because you live in Kakata, that means you run between Monrovia and Kakata, you will have a certain place to stop, and our city cab will pick it up and go from there. And if you have to come in town, in center town to do some things, you must have a team that pass from your driver union over there or the police department over there to ensure that you'll be going to a specific place. From there you go back to where you're supposed to go. I'd like to say something else here.
What is that supposed to achieve?
Well, what it's going to achieve here? It's going to ensure that your car will remain to where you want it to remain. And if your car has to leave town, you will have to know about it. That's the serious control. It's going to ensure also that like I say, that's one of the main part about it. Because sometimes you sit down home at 7 o'clock in the evening waiting for your man to bring you the $500 because you've already paid 2 tires for the car. Maybe you went credit at 8, and the man comes to you, Chief, I had an accident yesterday, but I was right. You are right, yeah, but she's 9% died. You see, I mean, I know this kind of thing happen. They come to you and tell you, say, Chief, I was driving yesterday, the car made accident, but I was right. So, I always say it's better to be wrong and alive and safe than to be dead and right. And that's the attitude that most of our people don't have. We also coming up with, we got our people working on the driver's education program that we're going to have at City Hall. We're going to invite all of the drivers in. We're going to invite people in to kind of speak to them, what we expect of them, the attitude for the life. Do you know that some people that are driving now that did not drive before the war? They do not. If you want to see the worst thing that's going to happen to us here, you wait until we put a traffic light at the street corner. That's another program altogether different that we have to go back now and begin to train our people and educate our people on how to, because there were some people never saw a traffic light. Do you know there are some people driving the car in the night, don't know they're supposed to dim the lights? So we live in a terrible situation right now, and when governments begin to put a lot of money into training of the police, that must be highly appreciated.
Okay, we're taking our first break, and we'll be right back.
I wonder why the fighting war. Said I wonder why, man, why the fighting war. Oh, come back, Jesus, come back, light. Come back, Jesus, my Lord, come back, Lord. Oh, come back, Jesus. Come back, light. Come back, Jesus, Jesus, my Lord. Come back, Lord. Bring peace and love, and peace and love. Jesus, Jesus, bring peace and love, oh my Jesus, my sweet Jesus, my heart, Jesus, my soul is for you. Teardrops coming through.
Thank you, Rav Jacob. We're back on DC Talk Special on DC 101.1 FM. My studio guest today is Honorable Director Tate. He's the Director of Liberia National Police. We're discussing the achievement of the police in the area of crime detection and what can we do to improve the image of the police. Call 226463 and we'll be live on DC 101.1 FM. We're going back to the line to talk to our first caller. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Listen to the radio. Pardon me?
What's your name and where are you calling from?
Oh, my name is Dixon Blah. I'm calling from Freeport.
Okay, Dixon, you got 1 minute to ask your question, please.
All right. No, actually, we must commend the police, especially the police director, for a job well done. Because nowadays we have seen a reduction in the high rate of crime in the country. Because in the first time of Liberia, we have seen criminals sending themselves into police. You know, there is a very good mark for the police. But there is another angle to this. You see, we have seen the increase of police harassment, arbitrary arrest and detention, extortion, torture, extrajudicial killing, police brutality. You know, these are the things that create fear within the people. These are the things that cause the people, they don't actually have confidence in the police anymore. I want the police director to tell us whether he's doing something to stop this hideous crime against the citizens of this country. You know, the civilians nowadays, when you see police around the community, they feel frightened. What is the problem with the police? Let the police director try to address himself to this problem, and thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, you know, there is always a saying that what goes up must come down. We do not like to see some of the things or hear some of the things that we know of the police doing. But you are a citizen of this country. You have the right to ensure that our police behave the way they are supposed to behave. And I don't see any reason for anybody being frightened of the policemen. What we ask of you here is we have a number on our vehicle, 226-800. That number is not only to report crime, but it is also there to report every action from the policeman. So if you will help me somewhere here, because like I said earlier, that what goes around must come around. If you behave bad to the citizen, you will not be assured of the citizens' cooperation. And so we are doing everything to ensure that these people are properly trained. I think the answer to our whole problem here is training. The government has recognized that and is doing everything to ensure that our officers are trained. Another thing that that people think of, that they say, oh, the police is just this, the police is just that. When we decide to open our first training program, every Liberian, regardless of ethnicity, will have the chance of going to the police academy. You will be able to take a test. You'll be able to, to go through all of the routine. And if you meet the qualification, you are going to go to the police academy. So for people to say that, oh, the police look like this, the police, just give us a chance and you'll see what the police is going to look like in the next few months.
2 nights ago, there was some problem on the Buse Quarter area. I don't know what communication, what is the channel of communication, because people went there, they want to get some information as regards what was happening around Buse Quarter, and nobody wanted to talk to any reporter. They said they couldn't talk because they were not in your hierarchy to address any issue. Is there any communication gap, or is a way that people address issues that happen in the police?
Whatever happened at Buse Quarter or around the area there the other day, I think was properly addressed by the Minister of Justice yesterday. Today, people are talking about they are afraid of guns, but I see a lot of guns in the city.
Yeah, what are you doing? You're supposed to be in the street. I passed by the Buse Quarters, by that area there, from King Johnson Road area. There, it's all mounted by. What are you not there?
It's an ECOMO checkpoint, and so they are manning it.
So you're off the street altogether?
Well, we got our traffic posts certain places, but for certain reason they are there.
You don't feel marginalized by that?
If they're doing the job, if they can do the job that I can do and still keep up the good work, that's fine with me. I'll let the citizens decide on that. Really, I'm not going to get into that. I think ECOMO should remain there at the intersection there. If we cannot behave ourselves like people, I think we're supposed to be taught how to behave. And so I feel ECOMO should remain there for a while.
There was another issue about this Johnson arrest, that your men were involved in trying to apprehend Johnson. So they brought fear to everybody, thinking, oh, there's another April on hand. And what is the real story behind this Johnson arrest on Camp Johnson?
Look, T-Max, all the things is somebody is trying to divide and rule us. Okay? Somebody is trying to divide and rule us.
In other words, you never send people there to arrest Johnson?
I'm coming to you here. We must be smart enough to understand that somebody is trying to divide and rule us here. Johnson got to believe that Johnson's got to believe that we come to arrest him. We got to believe that Johnson has come to attack us. I mean, whoever is telling the liar is doing a very, 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 very good job. Okay? At no time, at no place, at no point, and no officer can come and tell you that they have ever been given an issue in order to have Roosevelt Johnson arrested. Let me tell you something that happened here a few nights yesterday. Somebody came to me and told me that Roosevelt Johnson, people got your radio, they're listening to the police net. I said, fine. Now he knows that nobody wants to arrest him, because there has never been an order issue for Roosevelt Johnson arrest. I am a professional policeman. I want you to understand that. I want the public to understand that. I got 29 years experience in this state. And if Roosevelt Johnson is a member of the cabinet, I know very well that I got no business trying to arrest him. So let everybody get that straight. Roosevelt Johnson is a member of the government. He is a member of the cabinet. Until Roosevelt Johnson is dismissed and is properly charged by government, the Liberian National Police has got no reason to arrest him. I will never go against my constitutional responsibility. So Roosevelt Johnson can rest assured that I, Jlateh, have got no order to arrest him and got no reason to arrest him. And just like it is, I also want you to understand that I want his people to understand that we have got no reason to want to attack them. Just like I'm sure they got no reason to attack us. Let me tell you something funny that happened. People just don't understand how we have been trying to put situation under control in the last few days. Somebody called me from my police radio and tells me that the people on Camp Johnson Road, they all standing in front of the store, they place, they ain't got no shake. So I said, so what? Can you imagine living in a store on Camp Johnson Road? There's no ventilation in that place. You live in, the temperature is almost 102 degrees, no windows there, and the people feel hot inside, they come outside with no shade on. Doesn't mean that somebody come to fight war. If you're a policeman, like we say, stop the gentleman, how you're doing, everything all right. If you have a problem, call us. Build that public relation with the people. But again, you must be trained like me and have the experience like me to be able to do that.
Another thing of concern is that a lot of boys, children are in the police. What are you doing about juvenile delinquency? Do you separate them from hardened criminals? And
we have a full juvenile department over there. If we encourage you to know, or the public to know, that we have even set aside money that we provide the juvenile people to feed the children. Most of the children, when they are too young, you'll be also surprised to know that despite this hardship, our police officers, some of them will even take them to their houses and care for them while we are searching for their parents. Under all this hard condition, our police officers we accept another head in the house to feed. Most of our officers now, you go to them, they have taken some of these juveniles from the place because they look so nice. There was a baby found somewhere in the grass the other day. Our police officer police women were fighting over the baby. Who's going to take the baby home to be taking care of the baby until we find the mother, and that's the kind of relationship that we have tried to bring back to the public. We are visiting all of the schools to ensure that our children understand their civic responsibility, so they can. You see, when you talk about police harassment, police brutality, you must also understand that when the police tell you move, you must move. You must move when the police tells you move. If you had a policeman who tells you to move and you don't move, how much power or how much confidence are you going to have that if somebody slaps you, that policeman is able to arrest the person? You tell me. I'll let the public answer that today.
Okay, let's go back to the line to talk to our caller. Hello?
Yeah, hello.
What's your name and where are you calling from, please?
Yeah, my name is Hadi Sharif. I'm calling from Sincor.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Sharif.
Yeah, I just want to make a comment. It's just an observation, and later on I'll try to make a recommendation if possible. What happened, you see the police force and the public both are faced with a complex problem. I can summarize that into perhaps three, maybe a problem of confidence, a problem of credibility, a problem of trust. The comment here I want to make is that I observe that the police force, the enlisted men in the police force are composed of, most of them are composed of people or combatants who fought perhaps during the 7-year-old war. Okay, that's one. And two, they are there to protect the civilians. The civilians divide the civilians into two categories. The first category could be combatant civilians. There are some civilians now who were combatants during the war. And the second category of civilians perhaps could be the civilians who did not fight at all. So, the police force is faced with one problem, the problem of protecting the lives and property of the civilians. But these civilians are traumatized. Some of them do not have much confidence into the police force, because if we look at the combatant civilians, some of them feel that perhaps they might have fought against some of these police officers and things, and therefore these police officers are people who are going to protect them, protect their lives and property. And how come? So that confidence is not there. That confidence wouldn't be there. That trust, that credibility. Hello? Yeah, that confidence, credibility, that trust is not there. And the civilians too, who are also there, and the police are there also to protect the civilians. So those civilians who did not even fight during the war and things, they have seen some of these people during the war and engaging in certain acts, and therefore they become traumatized whenever they see these people holding arms and other things. All right, so they become traumatized, they become confused. So the trust is not there, the confidence is not there that this person can be in a position to protect me, since I've seen this person doing so and so things. So this is the complex problem actually we are faced with, this both the police force and the public. So therefore what I feel that before, as the director just said, he said that most of the police officers, some of them, quite a sizable number of them are untrained, they are not properly trained and things. So my recommendation actually is that the police force, before even giving some of them arms, before even issuing arms to some of them, some of these heavy arms, long-range arms and things, I think the police force generally should be properly rehabilitated, properly de-traumatized. They should be taught how to even approach the civilians, so that they will not be panicked, so that the fear will not grip them, so that at least so that trust could be there, that confidence could be built up, credibility should be there and things. So at least the police force should be in a position to educate the enlisted men who are put out in the field, at least, to protect lives and property, educate them properly, so that they should have a better approach towards the civilians, towards the combatant civilians, and towards the civilian perhaps, if you could permit me say that. So that is my recommendation for now, actually, to the police force, because this is a complex problem that both the police and the civilians are facing. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Well, I understand what he's saying. I see that he's talking about combatants. I don't know what he's talking about, because
how do you recruit the people in the police? I think where he was coming from.
No, that's not where he was coming from. Where he was coming from is that he's talking about you see a lot of combatants in the police force.
Yes, that's what he's saying.
I don't think what is actually that shouldn't be the issue here. What should be the issue here as to whether they are behaving right or not behaving right? I'll be the first to tell you that everybody in the police force is not going to behave the same way, but we like to welcome these kinds of comments, and so we can observe them carefully. Now, when he talk about the complex problem that the police has, and the public also has that problem, the easiest way to get around all this thing here is to begin to reconcile our differences through dialogue, through tolerance, through healthy discussions with one another, open a free flow of communication. I'll tell you something funny that happened yesterday before I go to the next thing to answer. When you talk about reconciliation, you must have true reconciliation. I think you see your chief and myself sitting down here today talking. They were saying that I went to Fred Bass's house and Jlateh's house and this, that, and the other. Mr. Bass knows very well I got no need to loot his house, and I think he's understood that. And today you see we've thrown that behind us and we're moving forward. Yesterday somebody came to me and told me Roosevelt Johnson, one of his men were arrested. So I said, fine, but I did not know this man was arrested. And I said, okay, fine, I will check into it. I checked into it right away, and this man was arrested by some other security agency and turned over to us. I immediately ordered this man released from further detention, and turned him over to this individual that came to me from Ecomore. And I sat the individual down and I told him, I said, look, here is my telephone number. I am writing this telephone number down, and I'm giving it to you to go and give it to Roosevelt Johnson. Tell him, I say, I will never do anything for him again if he has to go through a third party. Anything, anytime that he feels that anything that he does not understand, to call me. We must begin now to communicate with one another and begin to build that trust and confidence in one another. And I gave that number to him. I said, go tell Roosevelt Johnson. Anytime. I said, he's done that before. And he saw that it was working fine. If you feel that somebody didn't got nothing to do, they want kind of chief, and they put one arrest today, you know, this, that, and the whole thing here, they don't know arrest business, anything. We all know that all the rumors and things are going around. You fire one gunshot in the time, they come and take your shoes and your window cutting from your door, your bay, and start coming, and that's the whole thing behind it here. Nobody firing a gun here. If we see Mr. Roosevelt Johnson today, if you're listening to us here, if you hear anything that is happening, if you know of anything that is happening, call me on 226-570. 226-570. Or Mr. Roosevelt Johnson, call 226-800. Call me on the radio. They will call me at 12 midnight. I will make sure that people will come there to ensure that nothing happens to you. But there is no arrest order as far as I'm concerned. And even I, as director of police, I don't care who, nobody will direct me to go and do something that is unprofessional or that is unethical. And nobody has directed me to do that. Mr. Roosevelt Johnson is still a member of the government, and that if he has to be arrested, he will be dismissed. And when he's dismissed, it will go through the Ministry of Justice before it's transformed to the police for enforcement. That's the way our Constitution works. Now, the other caller said, called back just now and said that I said that the people are not trained, and they said they're not trained, and I see them with guns. I did not say. I told them we have a lot of untrained people in the police force. I did not tell them that they were not trained to arms. I hope you got that straight.
Okay, another thing that you seem to be a likable person and an approachable person, but the way to get to you is difficult. People that have a lot of complaints, things that they would recommend to you, but they say you go around with a lot of arms and they are frightened to get close to your Tate. Can you in any way try to reduce the kind of comfort you have so that you can be like we are, like I see you anytime I want to see you?
Why should that be that way? Tell me now. When do you go to sleep in the night, you boy?
I go to sleep several hours. I mean, I don't have a particular time I go to sleep.
Thank you. You see that you go to sleep in the night while I'm still working. I'm out here with the perception that he's out here to get everybody, and I'm out here fighting the crime. Let me tell you something. When you are a policeman, you must, and doing some of the things that we are doing to ensure that you can go to sleep several hours before me, as you put it. You have to make sure that you keep yourself alive. And so I don't see the reason why people should be frightened of me. I don't see the reason why people should even decide to come close to me with a complaint. I just told you just now, and I hope the public is listening, that you have Director Sidney Johnson. He's the Director for Press and Public Affairs. You have Director Yvonne Stewart. She's the Director for Community Relations. You hear her on the radio all the time. You have a 226-800 number. I just told you can call my office direct, 226-570. You know, I mean, those are all means of getting to me. But let me tell you something, the reason why plenty people cannot get too close to me, and it's very simple. Most of the people come and they say, well, look, I got this complaint. By the time they reach inside, damn, man, it's so hard to get it. I just need for you to pay my way. You know, and I don't have time for that kind of thing. I'm too busy for that. You know, and it's a long thing. You know, so when they come to me with a certain complaint, I direct them, or my secretary or my special assistant direct them to who is able to solve the complaint. They get mad. The fact that they didn't see my face means that the complaint will not be solved. That's not correct. I heard somebody, before you go further, I heard somebody saying the other day that there was a lady who was raped in the police cell.
I was coming to that, yeah.
That and the other. That's not correct.
Was there any lady arrested?
There you found out for that. Now, you the press man, you go find out. You go and find out from the person who said there was a lady arrested. Get this lady name. Go to all of our cells, because whenever you're arrested and put in the cell, you are recorded, you know, in the ledger there. Go and check all of our books. Then you can come back. Why wasn't there someone and try to castigate some people? So even if that happened, is that ground to say, well, look, the director of police was, I mean, you know, was aware? You know, that's not correct.
Okay, let's go to the line to talk to our last caller. Hello.
Hello.
What's your name and where are you calling from, please?
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Jlateh, and I'm calling from Monrovia town. First, I have to commend the producer of this program, and I think more of these programs should come because it's very beneficial. And secondly, I have to commend the police director, Tate. I think he's doing wonderfully well, hard work. But the police, I have to talk about some bad eggs that are painting the whole police black. That is, all these brutalities going on, I chalk it to illiteracy. So I think when the academy is finished and they go in and they learn the proper way of handling people, it will be okay. Let's not forget that we have fought 7 years of war, and the crime rate here is not alarming. Our neighboring countries, in the afternoon, people are shot dead on the street. We should not try and blame so much of the police, or blame a lot on the police for them to get weak, because we should not forget about a few months ago there was Joe the Butter and everyday armed robbery, and all that have gone down considerably. So we should tell them where they go wrong, and when they have to be commended to, we should be bold enough to say that they are doing wonderfully well. That is all I have to say.
Thank you very much. I think she was just commending you.
Hey, what can I say? I'm just a kid on the next block.
Okay, we're taking our second break and we'll be right back.
Yo dis, qu'est-ce qu'on fait? J'aimerais qu'on entende d'autres ce soir, non?
Ah, maman, ça ne super, parce que moi-même, je n'ai pas gagné pour manger.
Enfin, moi, reçu petit.
Mais j'ai quoi? Les coco comme ça me charge.
Depuis que le Zouglou a créé tout reçu pour nous, c'est que pour moi, ça moyen reçu ce soir-là.
Ah, maman, pour toi, là, ça a brillé maintenant. Baye, gogo, Baye, gogo, C'est les gogo, Voilà les gogo, Il y a un adage pété qui dit, un émonizo, un nomagi. Ma vie a un système là, qui est wacky à pas. Donc là tout, le yamba you seulement. Il y a faux, les cocos aussi, ça là non mais ça ne pousse pas les dents. C'est les cocos sont pas sérieux. C'est les cocos, c'est les gens, ils sont pas jeunes. C'est les cocos. Savez-vous ce que l'on appelle les cocos? Les cocos, c'est les gens qui vivent dans la poche de leurs camarades. C'est là, c'est les cocos. C'est les cocos. Pas pour le boubou. Tu vois le coco, ça fait dans boubou. À gauche, sans oublier son bulletin. Matin, bonheur, on dit que les plats ensemble arrivés dans la cuisine. C'est les cocos. Quand tu vois les tontons, tu dis le plat, on dirait le doyen. Ok, c'est un coco, mais un coco confidentiel. C'est les cocos. Ça retire. On est devant sur la radio. À midi, dans la grande cuisine, les tontons fouillés dans les assiettes, les soupières, les assiettes, souvent même en étalier. C'est les cocos. Yaba City, oh. Ah, Yaba City. Yama Guigué, l'on appelait les City. Aribo City, si tu vois les tailles sapées, c'est les cocos. Rouge à lèvres, c'est les coyons d'enchevés, c'est les cocos. Pied du pied.
Thank you, Ralph Jacob. We're back on the last lap of our DC Talk special today. Honorable Tate, what has been your disappointment?
My disappointment. I am disappointed, number one, that Liberians seem to envy a son, their son, who is doing so well to ensure that some peace and sanity exists in our country. I don't think they hate me. That's why I use the word envy. My disappointment is also that we found ourselves working in a government of this nature who want to contribute immensely to the security of his people, and is unable to do it. We are also disappointed in the fact that because of this, we are also unable to present the kind of police force that we would be proud of. The history will carry us for as long as this country exists. Those are some of my regrets, and I hope that we will be able to see these things in our lifetime. We have begun to do that. One of my biggest requests in my life was to be able to revitalize the police academy, and God has given me the chance to do that. I'm very, very, very proud for that. I'm so proud. The world wouldn't know how proud I am for what we are doing at the police academy, because I feel that is the bedrock of a successful civil society.
So if you were asked to leave, will you be satisfied with that kind of achievement at the police academy?
I'll be satisfied with that. I mean, there are a lot of other achievements. If I had brought you some of the letters I've been receiving in my office every day, you wouldn't be able to read them. People commending us for the speedy action we took for this thing. People commending us. Look, in the last few days, the kind of mature decision we have made to ensure that nothing escalates into the society, because we were very much aware that it was simply a misunderstanding between all of us, and we felt that if we were to talk a little bit more, people would begin to understand one another, and we felt that it was not time to just rush into situation, and so we back off and we begin to talk, and pretty soon we will all understand one another. This is the kind of police force we want to have in this city. People must not be able to just be like loose cannon and doing things the way they want to do it, and that goes for the police officers too. And our officers have been very, 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 very disciplined in the last few days. They have been following our instruction to the letter, and this is why you see the whole situation just went down the way it was supposed to go. People say April 6th, what Jlateh this, that, and the other is not correct. If people really want to know the true story, one day when you meet me on my gospel, just ask me. I'll tell you what really happened and how it happened, and that people now begin to understand that we are not just here to make war or to be anxious. I mean, what have I got to gain by going and attack Mr. Roosevelt Johnson or fighting war? You must ask that. But what have I got to lose too? That you weigh the losses against what I have to gain. You see, so I'm one of the. We got something in our police patrol method. We say before an officer decides to pursue, he must decide the nature of the crime the guy has committed against the amount of resources that he put in behind the guy. Simply saying that because if you got a $30,000 patrol car driving it down the street, and you heard a guy stole one chicken, you're not going to take my patrol car to start running behind him to go and catch him because of one chicken. But if you heard that the guy has robbed the bank, has shot somebody, or got some people held hostage, well, you can weigh that as human life against $30,000, and it's only $30,000 against that person's life. That person could be beneficial to the country tomorrow. So we must take every step to go ahead and ensure that person is safe. In the process, if that car is damaged or something, that's a different thing. And so what we're saying here is that we must begin now to weigh the danger, assess the situation and everything. What you got to lose, and that's about 5 minutes worth of thought. That decision has to be made just like that. How do we go from here? And that's some of the decisions that I'm just sorry, T-Max, sometimes you don't have our radios. One day I will give you a radio station, people my radio for 24 hours, just sit there and listen to it. Enjoy police work. Just enjoy. I'm sure some people were listening to me this morning on the radio when there was a crime on the highway. One car jacked some money and went running on the highway. And in less than no time, we were able to put, following my direction, of course, put this guy in a block. And now we're on the road looking for him. And we directed everybody. Not only did we do that, now we're looking for the owner of the car in town. Our motor vehicle division is working right now, our communication pool working, our highway patrol working, and everything is working. That's exactly the reason why we didn't want those kinds of things to happen on our highway, and we're gonna catch him. We're gonna do everything to ensure that we catch him.
Okay, thank you, Director of Police, for coming to DC Talk Special. We hope your police will be a group that policeman of yesterday belonged to.
We hope the people will be the people of yesterday too.
Okay, on that note, we come to the end of DC Talk Special on this Thursday on DC 101.1 FM. I've been your usual host, T-Max. I'll be here on Friday. Friday's usual social issue day. Maybe I'll do a continuation of the Friday the Extinguisher. Maybe we go into homosexuals and lesbians. Or maybe some other things will come up. Until then, I'm T-Max and I'll see you on Friday.